Okay, guys, hello and welcome to a really important, really significant video on my YouTube channel. It's the first video in English language. I decided to transition into English language for this YouTube channel, and it's a really important step for me. And this is the first video in English language. For all my German following, they already know how it goes. For the new English audience, hello and welcome. I hope you slowly but surely start to find the video. Before we start with the video, once again, just like in the last video, huge thanks to Rosenberg TCG, a German YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube fellow guy, and he basically sponsored all of those videos and all of the cards in this video here because I won one of his giveaways. He made a lot of giveaways at the end of last year, and I was lucky enough to win one of those giveaways, and that's where the majority of these cards come from. And so this video, I just want to kind of like say hello to the hopefully slowly but surely arriving English audience. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I decided to transition into English language, and also why I tried to move away from German language. And before we get into that, usually what I tend to do is, or probably I should probably give you guys a little bit of an explanation of the videos that I'm doing. Basically, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting channel. So I started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards 2 years ago, and eventually it just became such a huge thing for me, and I had so much fun doing it, and I had also amassed so many cards that I kind of like came to the conclusion I might as well make YouTube videos out of it. So in the beginning, it was the priority to collect. So the main goal was, let's try to build a pretty cool Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection, and I might as well make videos on top of it because I could do pretty cool videos, show cool cards, and I have a lot of knowledge and all of that stuff. And so I thought, I might as well try a YouTube channel on top of it. And as time moved on, I eventually kind of like got to the point where the YouTube channel became more and more important for me. And now it's not just about collecting for me, but now it's actually about making cool videos, trying to continue to make videos for the YouTube channel, try to, grind the YouTube game or whatever you want to call it. And the collecting is still really important for me, no doubt about it. But it's also the YouTube channel now has much more significance. So in the beginning, it was like 100% collecting and a little bit of interest in the YouTube videos. And now I would say the YouTube channel is probably already just as important as my collecting journey. So basically, I'm just a random guy out of Germany that used to be a little bit obsessed with collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And of course, I started the channel in German. I started making videos a little bit more than half a year ago. So in like beginning of May last year, 2025, I think I started making my first video. So that's a little bit over half a year ago. And that's where I started. And in the beginning, like I said, the YouTube channel was basically just a way for me to document my collection journey. That's basically what it was about. And I didn't took it all too serious, I would say. But it really grew on me. I really enjoyed it, and now it's like a very significant part of my hobby. So now I'm not just collecting cards anymore. I'm collecting cards and I'm making videos for YouTube, right? So this stuff kind of like fusion, you could say. It came together. And I very quickly noticed that just the potential audience in German is extremely small. Like it's almost a joke how few German people are left that actually care about collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! And there were like a few instances where I noticed it. So like, for example, when I barely had over 100 subscribers, somebody on a social media platform noticed me. There was a guy on a social media platform that was trying to sell his Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection. And I always try to buy collections to make videos for YouTube and to build my collection. So that's also where I started. The entire why I buy collection journey, that's another video that would break this video. But so basically, I always look for collections. And there's this guy, and I talk to him, I make him an offer. He refuses the offer because he wants more money, what is normal, is fine, okay. And then he asks me, hey, I think I know you, aren't you making YouTube videos? And like I said, at that moment in time, I had like barely 100 subscribers. But he actually knew me. And he didn't mix me up. I was actually the guy he thought I was. And that was like a couple months ago. And at that moment, I absolutely realized how small the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting space is. It's like a joke. Like people should not recognize you if you have 100 subscribers. Like, that's not a thing. That doesn't even make sense. And so at that moment I realized, okay, I'm gonna have a problem here because my potential audience in German is very, very small. Maybe a couple reasons also why I decided to start with German. And the reason why I started to make videos in German, it's pretty simple. I'm native speaking German, right? So I'm a lot more eloquent, I'm a lot more fluid in German than in English. And I probably sound a little bit funny in English, right? I have like a silly German accent. I probably sound like I'm gonna blitzkrieg you in a couple seconds or something like that. Jokes aside, it's more comfortable for me to speak German than English. And so when I started making videos, I wanted to rather do them in German because it's more convenient for me than in English. And another reason why I actually started in German is because it was always a question for me. It was always like a very significant question. Should I make videos in German or should I make videos in English? And so I did a little bit of research and I kind of like checked YouTube for a couple small Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting channels. And the conclusion that I basically came to in the beginning was, well, you are screwed anyway. It doesn't even matter if you make videos in German or English or any other language, because all the small Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting channels that I found had absolutely horrible views, horrible subscribers. It was just, you were dead anyway. It didn't even matter what language you used. You were just screwed because Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting is so dead, almost dead, that it's like whatever. It doesn't even matter, right? But I started with German, didn't expect much out of it, but eventually I came to the conclusion that I have faster subscriber growth and I have better views than all these other guys do. I still have almost no subscribers, I still have laughable views, but for a random guy out of Germany making Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting content, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. As silly as it sounds. And so I thought about it and I was like, okay, so there is a difference here. And then I pretty much came to the conclusion, not trying to be disrespectful, but obviously I make much better content than these other guys did. And I also make much more consistent content. This is also really important. I make free videos every single week. Every single Tuesday, Friday and Sunday at 6 o'clock in the evening, German time, I upload a video. And since I started the YouTube channel, I have followed that upload schedule. So you can expect free videos of me every single week. So I have a certain amount of quality in my videos, and I have a certain amount of consistency that most of these other smaller channels just don't have. And so I realized, okay, maybe there is a little bit of room of potential. Maybe there is a little bit of growth that I can actually accomplish with this YouTube channel. Because I'm doing consistent videos, because my videos are decent, and there's actually something behind it. And another thing that's really important for me, I know I'm all over the place, but you know, it's the first video in English, and I kind of like want to tell you guys a lot of stuff. Another thing that's really important for me, I'm not just doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yes, it's so far mostly Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, collections, cards that I pick up along the way, and eventually in a few months or a few years when I'm done collecting, I will show you the finished collection and the finished binders and all of that stuff. But I'm not just doing Yu-Gi-Oh videos, you know, I also really try to get my character, get my own personal being into the videos. So I don't just want to be a random guy showing you cards. I want to be that specific guy. I want to, you know, I want my character and my personality to be part of the videos. And that's also a part of the channel. And I also think that's what maybe gives me a little bit of an advantage compared to a lot of other guys. Because a lot of other guys, even the big guys, even the big Yugi social media guys, they don't really have character, they don't really have personality, they barely even have opinions. They are just like, you know, they are just making videos, doing the stuff that gets views and farm ad revenue or something like that. And you know, and as soon as they would like to say something, but their sponsoring partners don't want them to tell it, they probably shut up instead, because, you know. And so I'm trying to not be that guy. I really try to be honest, to say what I think, and just be my own character. I also hope I'm maybe a little bit funny, and I hope I'm not funny because my English or German dialect is so silly, but we will work on that. And so that's kind of like it. And so it's going to be on a channel, it's going to be a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh content, of course. It's all about collecting, it's not about playing the game. Maybe eventually I'm gonna do some content about collecting, but it's mostly going to be collecting. And aside from that, I'm also going to talk about other stuff. Whatever gets into my mind, whatever I think is interesting, whatever I think is valuable to talk about, I will talk about it. And there is a small chance, I'm not sure yet, but I maybe eventually even start doing real life content where I show you guys some stuff of my real life, my real world, my work, the other stuff that I do around Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there is a certain interest that I found in sharing something like that, but that's also for another video. And so what I also, before we're done with the video, and this is also something really important that I wanted to say, and that's the main reason why I'm switching to English language, and it's really important. That's the thing that got me into making videos. The thing that really got me into making videos, the thing that really motivated me, and it was a certain form of anger that I felt that gave me this motivation, was the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting is in such a bad position, and so many people that used to make Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting videos quit. All kinds of box breaking channels, all kinds of collecting channels, all kinds of, you know, all the guys that are just not doing Joshua Schmidt meta Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, a lot of those guys quit, right? And I am the end consumer of those videos. Like, I enjoy those videos. You know, it may sound a little bit silly, but I love watching people show their binders, show their new pickups, show their collections, maybe open a cool box or whatever, like everything that's about Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting. I don't love the game. Like, I don't love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's kind of ironic, but that's true. I don't hate it either. I play a little bit of Master Duel, but my passion, my love, is not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's actually collecting it, okay? And the amount of people that make content about collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Unfortunately is very small, right? And it has been declining in the last couple of years. And I remember a few years ago, almost every single day, so this is like from 2020 to like 2022, there was like a period where almost every single day somebody made some cool opening videos, made some collection purchasing videos, made some binder showcases, and all of that cool stuff that I enjoy watching. And it was almost every day. And you know, at least on the weekend, if I checked my YouTube subscriptions, there was always a couple guys making cool Yu-Gi-Oh collecting videos. And I think 2023, it kind of like turned and started to go down. And since then, it's only getting worse. And since 2024 and 2025, I'm not kidding, I feel like there's sometimes like 2, maybe 3 weeks without anybody uploading any cool Yu-Gi-Oh collecting content. It's ridiculous. And of course, there is very few English language Yu-Gi-Oh collecting content, but in German it's even worse. If you guys look for Yu-Gi-Oh collection purchases in German language, like, I'm probably almost the only guy, except maybe 1 or 2 videos, that bought a Yu-Gi-Oh collection and made a YouTube video out of it in the last 12 months. There is 1 or 2 exceptions. They know when I talk about it. The guys know who I'm talking about, but there's almost nobody. There's almost nobody left. You know, it's kind of funny because I'm like constantly making those videos. It's like every week or like every couple of weeks I buy another collection, and except me, nobody's doing it. And so that's what actually motivated me to make the videos, to, you know, show my collecting journey, but to also just give people the opportunity to actually watch YouTube videos about Yu-Gi-Oh collecting, because nobody else is doing it, what is such a shame. And that's what really got me back, that's what really motivated me to, and decided me to, okay, let's make some of those videos. Because I really felt like I'm the only guy or one of the very few guys doing it. And now why did I decide to switch into English language? Because at English language I can just reach a much bigger audience. And at the end of the day, what I want to do with the channel is I want to make Yu-Gi-Oh collecting videos, and I want people that actually care about those videos to have the potential, to have the opportunity to watch them, right? And if I make videos in German language, most people are locked out. They don't watch them, or they can't watch them because it's the wrong language. But in English language, a lot more people can actually watch them. So for example, as long as I made German language videos, I had 0 English audience. The only people that watched my videos were all German speaking, and I'm not even kidding. After the German-speaking guys from Germany and Austria and Switzerland, the next highest category were actually people from Japan. So I had more people from Japan watching my videos than I had English-speaking guys watching my videos. What is kind of funny, but that's, you know, that's it, right? And so it just makes a lot more sense to make those videos in English, to just reach a bigger audience. And, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is a small niche. Yu-Gi-Oh collecting is a small niche inside the small Yu-Gi-Oh universe. And what I'm doing has its own uniqueness, right? Like, I have my own character, I have my own thoughts, I'm not mainstream, I'm not even trying to be mainstream. So what I'm doing is like very, very niche-y. And I know that the absolute majority of people will not care about these videos. They will just think, who is this guy? What nonsense is he talking about? I don't care, right? That's the absolute majority of people, and I'm aware of it. But there's a small group of people that are just as mentally retarded as I am, and are just as obsessed with collecting and finding ways to become more efficient in collecting, and to just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh cards and collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And for that group of people, I try to make videos. And in English language, it's just so, there's just more of those people that I can actually reach. And that's the reason, basically, why I decided to switch to English language. A very in detail video today, first video. I had a lot to talk about. So I hope slowly but surely the English audience will get to know me, will hopefully subscribe and watch my videos. That's the first video. Like I said, free videos every single week. Every Tuesday, every Friday, every Sunday. And you will eventually hopefully get to know me. And there is a lot more videos, a lot more collections, a lot more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and a lot of different stuff that I'm going to talk about. And this was the first video in English language. So thank you very much, and we will see you